Hi, this is Lisa Hayes with Dreams for Society and Dreams for You Coaching. You can find me at those websites.com websites and reach out to me if you would like to have a dream card reading, a life coach session, or an energy facilitation of healing. I just returned from an epic, surreal journey in Egypt where we visited all of the temples and the pyramids, the King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, all of that. And unbeknownst to me, I came back with a huge, huge gift that has increased my ability to heal myself and to facilitate healing in others. I received a protocol back in 2017 and started doing that in 2017. However, with this facilitation that I got in Egypt, I have even more powers, so to speak, and it's so much fun. How did I get this activation? Well, how is a mystery. Where did I get it? In front of the life-size statue of Sekhmet. And you can look her up. It's Sekhmet, and she is a goddess of healing. And unbeknownst to me, she helps activate the heart. And I was in front of her doing a protocol that was downloaded to me. And before I knew it, I was receiving this buzzing energy in my heart like none other. I've had heart activations, yet nothing like this. Before it was heart palpitations, energy beams coming into my heart, that kind of a thing. This was so beautiful. And the energy just went way out. It was just in the heart, however, in front of Sekhmet. And Sekhmet can be found in a secluded chapel in Luxor, Egypt, in the Karnak area, in the Ptah Chapel. If you ever have a chance to get in front of her and look into her face, her eyes, you will receive something, I can guarantee. So a couple days later, one of the ladies from Zurich facilitated a breathwork session, and oh, it was a crazy, crazy gift that I received because the heart activation traveled throughout my body and out into my hands, where the energy flowing from my hands went out. I could feel it 3 feet or more outward. And that I know has increased my ability to facilitate healing for others. Now you do the healing yourself. I just am the conduit to bring the energy through the vehicle that I am in and through the heart, through the hands, outward. So that's how it works. And I'd be happy to help any of you that are listening. Please email me at lisa@dreamsforyoucoaching.com or lisa@dreamsforsociety.com. And we can get together and do an energy facilitation over Zoom or over the phone. It's all local. This is important to understand. It all works here and now. It matters not how far away we are or what might be perceived to be between us. So this is not really why I'm tapping into this discussion today. However, I wanted to give that as a precursor for all of you, because what has happened since I came back from Egypt, I came back home on March the 10th of 2021, because today is Monday, March 22nd, 2021. I have received in my dreams at night, I'm dreaming about Egypt, portals, symbols every night since I've gotten home. And then during the day, receiving information about how this existence in which we find ourselves operates. So you can see in this video, there's just one picture, a box within a box within a box within a box. And imagine that the boxes go out to infinity. For purposes of this discussion, It's tilted a little bit as like an octahedron. So it depends on your perception. But let's think of it as a box. We're limited by the four corners of that doggone box in which we're born. And that box is in the middle. It's, as you can see, a pinkish magenta color box. And we come into this existence in a limited box of rules and laws and morals and cause and effects that are rigidly confined. If you do this, then that will happen. If you say this, then that will happen. The cause and effects are very rigid, and the idea is to move beyond that rigidity of that magenta pink box. So, for example, in that box, let's just use the COVID example, okay? In that box, obviously there is a dense amount of fear. That's one of the things contained in that box. Fear rules, and fear in so many cases dictates how we behave in that box. So we do this out of fear. We do that out of fear. We're worried that something's not going to happen, so we force it to happen. We are not allowing anything to happen. We're worried we're not going to get married, so we force a marriage that's not in our best interest. We worry we're not going to have kids, so we force having a child at a time that maybe not in our best interest. We're worried we're going to get COVID, so we stay home and don't see anyone, and we wear masks if we do have to leave, even outside in the beautiful sunshine when no one's around. And we get vaccinated regardless of any concerns about how that's going to affect our health. That's the rigidity in the box, okay? We're scared to death, and we are scared of death because in that box, we have a rule that we're going to get old, sick, and die if we're lucky. We also know we could die at any moment because we view our vehicles as very fragile and definitely mortal. As we move outside of those boundaries of that magenta box, we now start to feel, especially when we get further and further out, we start to feel that those rules that were contained in that magenta box in which we were born become fuzzier. So that, hey, I think I'll go to Egypt. You know, during COVID, last year I was in New Zealand, and this year I'm in Egypt. I don't wear a mask. I don't take the vaccine. I do wear a mask when I'm forced to. However, I know that in the outer boxes, the mask doesn't affect me in any way. The cause of wearing a mask has no effect on anything. So wearing or not wearing it is not going to cause an effect, is what I'm trying to say, because when those rules aren't applying in the outer boxes. I'm not contagious and no one's contagious to me. See, that those outer boxes, the rules of everyone running around being sick all the time, which is very much a rule in that magenta box, whether it's a pandemic or cancer or mental illness or any of the other physical illnesses, those are very pervasive in that limited fear box of the magenta four corners where we've resided from birth onward until we know how to expand our awareness outward and outward. As we expand our awareness outward and outward and outward and go further and further out into more and more layers, we now are becoming aware of our inner technologies, teleportation, remote viewing. We're starting to meet other individuals in other realms, just like we meet our neighbor in this particular existence. We're starting to see that the existence in which we reside has many portals that we can go through and meet other people. It's not, to me, it's not any different than jumping on an airplane and meeting people in another location. So it's within this existence, we're just expanding our awareness and expanding our existence to incorporate more and more of what is really here that we're starting to see, and remembering how powerful we are. We're the ones we're waiting for. When we remember who we really are, we'll know we're the ones we're waiting for. And we just go out and out and out and out. And those rules in that pink magenta box, they're just not applicable anymore because we are so powerful. We've remembered that we're even going to go out, 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 where we can decide when we want to leave this vehicle, for example, when we want to no longer have this body as the conduit for our energy. So that's what's happening. To go back to the beginning of what I was discussing in terms of the energy flowing from my hands, all I am doing is allowing my vehicle to be a conduit for that infinite energy that is here and now. And it just goes through my vehicle and zeroes in on a co-creator, on their particular concern of their physical body, and it facilitates healing, or it also facilitates a new perspective, knowing that what is really there is perfectly well or perfectly pristine. I can put my hands out now, and you know how we used to always pray before we ate dinner. If I put my hands in front of my food, the energy flows out and that food becomes aligned with the perfection it already is. And that's the same with my environment. I could put my hands out and see the perfectly blue sky now that was once filled with pollution or whatever. This is how it works. We're not changing anything. We're allowing the energy to come through and not blocked in any way in our vehicle so that we can see what's already here. And so when I do facilitate energy healings with you, it's not healing, it's just revealing what is really there. So if you have a sore knee, it's revealing that your knee is perfectly fine. It never was sore. This is how it works. So I invite you to visit with me anytime you'd like. I'd love to chat with you. Just go on my websites and get a hold of me at lisa@dreamsforyoucoaching.com or lisa@dreamsforsociety.com. And I'm here. I'm here to help. I'm here to share. I'm here to facilitate. And until next time, love and joy, Lisa.